The external note lookup functionality enables services operating from separate Adastra databases to share patient note information controlled by note sharing permissions. Patient notes are shared between services where the appropriate sharing permissions are configured and where the organisation making the request has a verified NHS number for the patient. Once your service has been configured to share or view shared patient notes, it will be included in the Advanced Community Organisation Maintenance module. This menu option includes all organisations that use the Adastra application and could potentially have a note-sharing agreement in place. This list of organisations will be synchronised with the centrally hosted Advanced Community Index, which is managed by Advanced. Once a note-sharing agreement is in place between your service and another, this needs to be recorded within both Adastra systems. To set up an organisation as having a note-sharing agreement in place, tick the checkbox next to the organisation's name. For the demonstrations within these videos, LM Current is the Adastra database that we are setting up a note-sharing agreement with. Notes will only be shared successfully between organisations if both parties have marked the corresponding organisation as ticked within their respective Adastra system. Therefore, the database administrator or manager of the service using the LM Current database will need to confirm our data sharing agreement by ticking the checkbox for our database, which for these scenarios will be PM Current Database. Click the Update button to save any changes. Any changes to this module are logged in the Adastra database for audit if necessary. Let's now take on the role of the service sharing notes. Logging in to the LM Current database, we need to set sharing permissions with the PM Current database. Let's have a look at note sharing permissions. External note sharing permissions are configured per note template through the Note Template Maintenance module. However, note permissions may be set at an individual note level if appropriate when adding or editing a note through the Note Edit and Note Review modules. Let's first look at setting sharing permissions for note templates. All patient-specific Adastra notes are required to have a note template assigned. There are a standard set of note templates available, however individual organisations may create their own. For this example, let's select the standard Adastra template called Communication Barrier. There are three parts to the Note Template Maintenance module: Template Permissions, Template Questions, Question Settings and Answers. We will only be looking at the Note Template Permissions within this video. To edit Template Permissions, click the Edit Permissions button. As you can see, there are 4 permission levels that can be assigned to a note template. Not shared. When this setting is used, no information will be returned from an external note lookup. Flag only. This setting will provide an indication that a note exists, but will not include any note detail. Flag and type only. This will return an indication that a note exists and show the note template type, but will not include any note detail. Full note. This setting will return full note details from an external note lookup. External note lookup sharing permissions are configurable per organisation that a note sharing agreement is in place with, i.e. those ticked in Advanced Community Organisation Maintenance. The organisations that have been identified as having sharing agreements in place will be listed in the appropriate permissions section. The name of the local Adastra database will always have full note permissions and will be displayed in grey text to show it is read-only. To set or change the sharing permissions for an organisation, click on the organisation name to be moved. Let's set full sharing permissions for the PM Current database. When an organisation name is highlighted, the appropriate forward and back arrows will become active to enable the organisation to be moved from one permission section to another. Click the Update button to save your permission changes. The Note Template Permissions window will close and return to the Note Template Maintenance screen. To save all changes made to the Note template, including permission changes, and close the module, click Update. Clicking the Cancel button at this point would cancel any changes made to the Note template, including permissions. Next, let's look at setting note sharing permissions for a specific patient note within the Note Edit module. When creating or amending a patient note through the Note Edit or Note Review modules, the sharing settings for the note are found in the Note Details section once a patient note is selected. For this example, let's look at the patient Elaine Masters. We can see that this patient currently has a number of patient notes assigned to them. Let's look at the note for Elaine currently assigned to the Communication Barrier Notes template. Double-click to open the note. There are several tabs within the Note Edit module. For this video, we are only going to look at the permission settings within the Note Details tab. The main setting that is required to enable this specific note to be shared is the Share with External Agencies checkbox. When ticked, the note can be passed to external systems linked to the sharing Adastra system. If this option is not ticked, the note will not be shared. When this setting is ticked, the Edit Permissions button, as we have seen in the Note Template Maintenance module, will become available. As you can see, the Edit Permissions window is almost the same as when viewed in Note Template Maintenance. The two differences are the patient name is displayed, and there is a Link this note to Template Permissions checkbox. By default, the note will be linked to the template permissions applicable to the note template it has been assigned to. The template name is shown to the right of the patient's name and is labelled Note Type. Where the Link this note to template permissions checkbox is ticked, the default permissions of the template will be shown as Read Only. If it is appropriate for the note to have individual note sharing permissions separate from the note template it's assigned to, this can be achieved by unticking the Link this note to template permissions checkbox. The permissions settings will then become active. Organisation permission settings will be automatically carried across from the note template, but may now be changed as appropriate in the same way as within the Note Template Maintenance module. To save any changes to the note permissions, click the Update button. To discard any permission changes and continue using the Note Template permissions, click the Cancel button. The Note Template Permissions window will close and return to the Note Details screen. To cancel any changes made to the note, including permission changes, click the Cancel button. To save all the changes made to the note and close the module, click the Update button. Let's relink the Communication Barrier note back to the Note Template permissions. We can see the note currently has note-specific sharing permissions, as this setting is not ticked. To relink the note to the default Note Template permissions, put a tick in this box. The following message will be displayed asking for confirmation that you wish to discard the current note-specific permissions. Click Link Note to accept the change and take on the template permissions, or click Keep Unlinked to retain the current note-specific permissions. We want to relink to the template permissions. We can see that the sharing permissions have automatically been changed to those assigned to the Communication Barrier Notes template. Click Update to save the change. Clicking Cancel at this point would discard any note changes made, including the permission changes. To commit all changes to the note, including permissions, click Update. External note lookup in case entry. When recording a patient contact in case entry, an external lookup will be triggered as soon as a verified NHS number is recorded. A lookup will initially be made to the Advanced Community Index, or ACI, to find out if there are any NHS number matches. Only NHS numbers where a shared patient note is available will be uploaded to the ACI. If the NHS number is successfully matched to the ACI, then a second lookup will be sent to the Adastra database that is sharing patient notes. The sharing system will check for a patient match on verified NHS number and date of birth, and share notes based on the assigned note sharing permissions. Let's search for the patient Elaine Masters, who has notes shared by the LM Currents database. Once the note lookup has been completed, the Notes button will change to orange. The Special Notes window will list any local or external notes available for the patient. You will notice that there is a note source shown for each note, identifying where it originates. The lookup status at the bottom of the window will highlight the success status of the external lookups. If any of the lookups have been unsuccessful, the Lookup Status button will be highlighted in orange. Click on the Lookup Status button to open a status window. In this example, we can see two lookups. First, the ACI Note service, which has returned as successful as it has identified that there are notes available for the NHS number provided. Second, we can see that the lookup to the relevant sharing Adastra system has been successful and has returned 3 shared notes for the patient. Close this window. Whether we are able to see the note text and template questions, as well as the note type, will depend on the note sharing permissions set within the sharing system. If the full note has been set to share, we are able to see all information recorded, including the note template type assigned. If the note has been set to share a flag and type only, we are able to see a fixed message plus the note template name. If the note has been set to flag only, we are only able to see a fixed message. The note template name is not shared, and the note type will show as patient note. Continue to finish the case following the usual process. Local and external notes attached to the case will be saved to the case for other users to view as appropriate to the case flow.